Project, speaking with Neil Young this morning from Elixir Energy. Neil, morning.
Good afternoon to you, Andrew. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, speaking to you this morning, Neil, from Mongolia. We'll get onto that in a moment. But of course, some big news out from you yesterday, the significant upgrade in contingent resources for the Grandis project in Queensland on the back of those Daydream 2 drill results. Just tell us a bit more.
So this is the first in a two-stage upgrade. Our initial contingent resource booking after we acquired this asset was based on results obtained by British Gas around 10 years ago. Now we successfully drilled our well and are somewhat interrupted in our stimulation program, and I'll come back to that. We've got a lot of very good data. We've flowed gas from where deeper than it's ever flowed before. We have successfully captured logs which indicated that the quality of the reservoir and the sandstones is better than we thought. So those factors combined have led to a big increase to a very big resource number.
And as you say, Neil, these results, this upgrade's based on the sandstones only.
Exactly. So we have stimulated and flow tested the lowest zone in our program. We have 5 more stages to go. We had an interruption in that for typical complicated oil field practice reasons, but we will resume in the next month or so. And a key part of that program involves stimulating and flowing the coals. And if we do that, viewers might recall we've got about 3 TCF of prospective resources in the coals, and successfully flowing that will start to move them into the much better class of contingent resources. And so we could see yet another big increase to yet another even bigger number.
And Neil, I don't want to put you on the spot, but of course it's a question many investors want to know. In terms of resuming that appraisal program, have you got a firm date in the diary yet?
Not quite yet, but we hope to announce one within the next week or so. We're negotiating with quite a number of parties, and we don't want to hold ourselves hostage to fortune by seeming too eager with any particular one. But they're pretty advanced, and we hope to announce something pretty soon.
And as far as activity within the wider area near Grandis, of course, a number of majors operating. Any updates as far as you're aware, Neil, as to how their programs are going?
So Shell continue to drill next door to us. We understand that is a 3-stage horizontal well program, a very detailed and comprehensive one, also involving significant stimulation. Shell knows that asset 100%, so typically they're not disclosing anything about it, but it's fairly evident that they're spending a lot of money on it. They face issues of ownership of liquefaction capacity in Gladstone that sees declining coal seam gas inputs. They have to supply the domestic market as well, and of course they want to, given the very high prices there. To our immediate east, we have an ASX junior peer who is about to commence drilling very soon too, and that's very welcome, and I'm sure they'll be telling the market a bit more than Shell. And then to our north and south, we have Santos. Their plans are somewhat unclear, but we would expect them to be doing something probably early next year.
And just remind us, Neil, about the demand for gas on the east coast of Australia. How's it looking in the near term?
So if you're a supplier, it's looking very, very good. If you're a customer, it's not looking quite as good, particularly if you live in Victoria or New South Wales, where the threat of shortfalls is in fact real in the short term. And of course, no one wants that, but it could happen. What that means is that prices are very high, and the national government has recognized recently the criticality of gas in the short and medium and long term to meet demand and also to back up renewables, etc. So the government a year or so ago was less keen on that, but reality has in effect punched it in the face, and it's responded pretty dramatically.
And Neil, just circling back to what we said at the start, of course, you landed in Mongolia late yesterday. What's the latest with your projects and programs over there?
So Queensland is obviously a big focus, but we still have our pilot project in Mongolia that is chugging away. We are progressively depressurizing the reservoir in the Nomgon pilot area. That's going fine. We can't give an exact deadline as to when that will lead to sustained gas breakthrough through desorption. It could be the end of this year, or it could be next year. That will be a significant milestone there. And we note our peers are also doing similar things here. Mongolia faces an election in a month, and often in democracies that leads to a little bit of interruption of government attention on these things. But I think it'll be very timely when a new government's bedded in to have it look at the achievements that we and others have been making and really lead to a new platform for examining how everybody moves forward.
Hey, good to speak, Neil. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, and likewise.